The sun shone brightly. Quincy, Percy, and Pippa splashed in the pond.
Look at me.
Shouted Quincy, puffing out his chest. He dipped his head underwater and came up sputtering.
Watch me dive.
Cried Percy, leaping into the air. He landed with a splash, sending droplets flying. Pippa giggled, her yellow beak shining.
You're both silly.
She said, flapping her wings playfully. The three ducklings were the best of friends, enjoying their day at the pond. Suddenly, Percy spotted something shimmering beneath a willow tree.
What's that?
He quacked, his curiosity piqued. It was a glass jar filled with warm water glistening in the sunlight.
Ooh, warm water.
Exclaimed Quincy, his eyes widening. He rushed towards the jar, eager to dip his beak in, but Pippa was quicker.
Me first.
She cried, pushing Quincy aside.
No, me.
Shouted Percy, joining the fray. The three friends, their earlier camaraderie forgotten, began to argue over who got to use the warm water first. Their loud quacks caught the attention of Mrs. Dabbler, a wise old duck who lived by the pond.
What's all the commotion?
She asked, her voice calm and steady. Ashamed, the ducklings explained their squabble. Mrs. Dabbler smiled gently.
Why fight over the warm water? There's enough for everyone to share.
She showed them how to dip their beaks in one by one, taking turns. The ducklings, realizing the wisdom in her words, quickly calmed down. They shared the warm water, laughing and splashing each other playfully. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of the jar faded into the background of their daily lives. The ducklings continued to play together, but their games were often punctuated by small disagreements and minor squabbles.
Come on, Percy, you need to follow the rules. We can't play properly if you keep breaking them.
But look at that shiny pebble. I got distracted. It's so pretty, don't you think?
Quincy, always eager to lead, would often boss Percy and Pippa around, trying to impose his own rules on their games.
I just wanted to see the clouds. They look like fluffy pillows today.
Percy, easily distracted by shiny objects, would forget their games midway, leaving the others frustrated. Pippa, with her head always in the clouds, would often wander off on her own, lost in her daydreams.
Pippa, where are you going now? We need you here to finish the game.
Oh, just exploring a bit. The pond looks so interesting today.
Their small disagreements, though insignificant at first, began to create a rift between them, making their playtime less enjoyable. They no longer played with the same joy and abandon as they used to. The carefree days seemed to be slipping away, replaced by moments of tension and misunderstanding. One afternoon, dark clouds gathered ominously in the sky and a fierce storm broke out, catching everyone by surprise. Rain lashed down relentlessly, the wind howled like a wild beast, and lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the dark clouds. The ducklings, caught unawares by the sudden change in weather, huddled together in fear, their tiny bodies trembling.
I'm scared. What if we get lost?
Me too. Pippa, hold on to me. We need to stay together.
We need to find shelter quickly before it gets worse.
Quincy, usually so brave and adventurous, trembled with fright, his courage momentarily forgotten. Percy, forgetting his usual carefree attitude, clung to Pippa for comfort, his eyes wide with fear. Pippa, her usual dreamy expression replaced with worry, looked around desperately for any sign of shelter. The storm raged on with unrelenting fury, and the ducklings, separated from their families, felt small and alone in the vast, chaotic world. It was then, amidst the howling wind and pouring rain, that they realized the true value of their friendship, finding strength in each other. As the storm subsided, leaving a trail of glistening raindrops and the scent of wet earth, the ducklings emerged from their hiding place. The sky was clearing, and the sun began to peek through the clouds, casting a warm glow on the wet ground. They were shaken but safe. The storm had been fierce, but they had weathered it together, finding strength in their unity.
We made it. We really did. I can't believe we got through that.
I'm so glad we're all okay. It was scary, but we stayed together, and that made all the difference.
Looking at each other, their eyes filled with newfound appreciation, they knew they needed each other. The bond they shared had grown even stronger.
I'm sorry for wandering off so much. I didn't realize how dangerous it could be.
And I'm sorry for bossing you around. I just wanted to keep us safe, but I see now that we need to listen to each other.
Yeah, and I'll try not to get distracted so easily. We all have to stay focused and look out for one another.
The storm had taught them a valuable lesson, that friendship is more important than any small disagreement. They realized that their differences made them stronger when they worked together. From that day forward, Quincy, Percy, and Pippa promised to always stick together no matter what. They knew that their friendship was their greatest strength. Their friendship, strengthened by the storm, was now stronger than ever. They faced the future with confidence, knowing they could overcome any challenge together.